Well guys, I'm back again with the MK1 cabinet. Didn't turn out as planned, so I'm just going to show you what happened. I ended up using the citrus strip and tried to strip it off, the black paint over the MK1 decal, and it did absolutely nothing. I left it on there for 24 hours as well, and it didn't even take the shine off the paint that they sprayed on this cabinet. So I ended up using this Jasco Premium Paint and Epoxy Remover. I applied it, put some wax paper over the top of the remover so it didn't evaporate. Left it on there for about 15 minutes, came back and everything was bubbled up, and I said, oh great, it looks great, it's going to scrape right off, everything was great. And it ended up, the paint being attached to the decal so strongly that I ended up just scraping the entire decal off with the paint still on the decal. So as you can see, this cabinet is all the way down to the bare wood on this side. You can still see the MK1 insignia right here, the dragon, which is unfortunate. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with this cabinet right now. I fixed a bunch of things. The marquee light wasn't working. I put a new bulb in it. It fell down in shipping all the way down to the back of the cabinet. I reattached a volume pot right here so I could use the volume. I made a little custom harness on the sound card here so I could adjust the volume during the game. As you can see, the control panel's off. It's over there. I tried that side as well, and it took it right down to the bare wood. So unfortunate once again. Monitor looks great. There's no burn-in. Displays perfectly. It's nice and crisp and clear. Speakers work great. So here's the inside of the cabinet. I took the cash box off here, off the coin door. It kind of attaches right here with this ledge. The ledge kind of drops into the coin door. The reason I took that off is because the guy that I bought this from didn't have the keys. So I had to take that off to get the cash box. I didn't really feel like drilling it out, which is a major pain in the ass, so I just came in through the back and took it off, which is easier. And now I'm going to take the coin doors off and just kind of reapply some black paint to the front of this cabinet, make sure it's all nice and clean. So I'm kind of at a crossroads with this cabinet on what I'm going to do. I was going to try and print off. I had a file that was sent to me of full Mortal Kombat 1 side art that somebody had made. However, I've heard that the quality of it is good until a certain point, and it lacks the clarity and the clearness of the real stuff. So I'm not going to go and spend $200 on side art if it's going to look like shit. So I'm contemplating painting the side of this cabinet black to match the other side. Doing a, I think they're called fantasy art, which is about a third of the way. It covers from about here all the way down to about where the control panel overlay is, and it's just kind of like a smaller image. Instead of, for example, this Gauntlet Legends cabinet, the entire side is covered. It'd go from about here to about here, one decal. And I was going to do that because it looks pretty good. I've seen people do it in the past. If it's done correctly, it looks nice. The board works. So I figure I might as well not put too much money into this and keep it Mortal Kombat 1, since it is a Mortal Kombat 1 by the angled front. I took off the control panel. The PCB, the game board that was in there, is actually, I thought I had it in here, it's not. It's all boxed up and going to our friend, your MK Arcade source. This control panel here is going to Androtez. I guess he needs a trackball control panel overlay for his main machine. The only issue is he wants me to drill 7 buttons a player, and if you look at the back of this, it's already pre-drilled from a Mortal Kombat 1, so to put 7 holes in here would be quite difficult. So I'm thinking, if he wants me to do that, I'm gonna, here's one of the joystick holes right here, and as you can see, it's not firmly in there. I can still put a joystick in there, but it's going to be way too close. It'll be coming out about right here to the trackball. So I'm going to need to send him some pictures and see what he really wants to do. I could probably do a 6 button, drill a run button. See if I can lean this up here. A 6 button, down here or down here, wherever that may be. Here's the other joystick over here. That's fine. But they put another hole here, which is fine. I can get that out of there and cover it up with a new, or he can rather, with a new art or new Lexan. It's got player 1, player 2 start. So I'm not really sure what he wants to do, but the trackball is centered perfectly in the control panel, and it's also back a little bit, which is quite nice as everything falls. It's quite nice because if you look at it from this perspective, what you don't want to do with a trackball is you don't want to have your hand smacking up against the glass and you break your friggin' fingers. So you set it back a little bit, and as you can see the whole panel, it's back a significant amount of space from the top of the control panel down here. So hopefully he will not need 7 buttons, and he'll be fine with 6, because I can probably make that work. But like I said, that joystick is going to be right about here, which should be fine, but it's going to be awfully close to the trackball for him. So I'm going to need him to kind of get with me on that and see if that's something he wants to do, because I'm not really sure, really, now that I'm looking at it, if the trackball, fuck, this thing's heavy. Let's see if I can lean it up here. If the trackball will fit in this spot with the joystick here. The joystick base comes down about this far right here. There's the mounting holes right there, so as you can see, one is missing, obviously, because the wood was cut out. But the trackball gets attached by 4 screws that go through the top here. They look like this. They come through like this, and there's a nut on the back of them, and that's what obviously attaches and holds it in there. So I'm not really sure what he's going to want to do with that. So I'm going to have to call him or email back and forth some things and see what he would like to do. I'm sure he'll watch this video and see it. But as for the MK1, I'm pretty sure that at some point in time I'm going to paint the exterior black on this side to match the other side. Probably put a fresh coat of paint on the other side so it looks nice. I have a control panel overlay right here. All pre-drilled Lexan, obviously a new Game On Graphics Mortal Kombat control panel overlay with the little Z bracket up top to close up the back of where the monitor is. I need some joysticks and buttons, and pretty much that's it. But I was really disappointed the fact that I couldn't get this black paint off, and you can see it here. I'll try to cover up the glare from the garage here, but you can see the MK1 Dragon right here, and there was a small portion on the other side that where the paint did not come off, and the decal underneath was so nice. It was so red, so yellow, so vibrant. I was disappointed yesterday. So what are you going to do? That's what happens when you try to restore these cabinets sometimes. I'm still going to save this one and turn it back into an MK1. But disappointments. That's every one of these is a different mystery. So there you have it. Look forward to an update to when I paint this and install all the graphics, the control panel, marquee, joysticks, buttons, fresh paint, probably clean up the coin door and cash box and whatnot, and I'll go from there. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned probably in the next week or so for an update on this machine.